Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about the truth about this coronavirus pandemic. What do you think is the truth? Today we're going to talk about the interview that was actually banned from YouTube and other social media at the a very estimate colleague, someone I really admire, Brian Rose, did with this man, David Icke, and we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna show you this interview on YouTube. It's still on YouTube. It's as 5.5 million views, so it's huge. It's huge because he's talking about David about some conspiracy, and I want to hear what you think. Comment down below and let me know what you think. What is the truth about this pandemic? I hear all kinds of things, sense and no sense, but let's go through it. Okay, so if you're watching right now from Facebook, my profile, Elio Mondello Anza, or from the Facebook page Mondo Soul, as well as on YouTube, the Mondo Soul channel, and we are still waiting for Mr. Bill Gates to let us stream on LinkedIn. We're also on Twitter, Periscope. And if you haven't done it yet, please subscribe, hit the like button, and comment. Let us know what you think is the truth about the pandemic, about this coronavirus, this COVID 19. Subscribe. This is me. Just checking up. Yes, and coming out all right. So everything is working well. You can use the chat on YouTube Live, and you can use as well comments on Facebook. And I will monitor if I manage during this short video. I'm just talking about what I think, what I heard from David Icke and from many, many others, important and less important people. Then it depends what you think about the definition of important, but definitely, it would be interesting to hear your opinion, because most of all, it's not what I think, what David think, but it's what everyone thinks. And that's what makes the reality. The reality, it's 7 billion people thinking. That's what makes the reality. And I know all of us, you and me, are thinking something different. So there is no one reality. But I think it's a very interesting theory, the one that there is a conspiracy, there are some strong powers that are behind this virus. And you might be thinking, yes, it's true, or what are you talking about, Elio? It's not true. And I know that there were something strange, very strange happening after this video, according to Brian Rose of London Real, that this video has been banned. Now it's still on YouTube, and Brian was asking to republish this content and to do anything, to make it more public, and so that people are more aware, and there is no this, censoring. He is very much for the freedom of speech, myself too. And so I want to talk about what's behind, this coronavirus. What do you think is behind this coronavirus? In my opinion, and this is just my opinion, this is a flu, and it's coming out from Asia, one of the most populated part of the whole world. Half of the population of the whole world is living in that part of the world. And because of that, so many people, so many animals, those viruses are floating and they are passing from one person to another, to another, to another. And because there are so many in those huge city, Shanghai, I think, is 18 million people, and so are many other cities in China where this virus started. They are so packed, and it's so easy to spread a normal virus, or even this not normal or a new virus called COVID-19, of the family of coronavirus. And it's then because of the globalization and the fact that the world is interconnected. Now we're all living in this huge giant world, and you can see, here, what is it? Here you see the logo of Montesol. It's a word. And so in this circle where we are living, everything is happening from China to Europe to US. All countries are affected from a virus that started from, they call it a seafood market. And I don't understand why then they said it came out from bat. those birds. And someone said instead it was in a lab in China where they were experimenting a vaccine for the coronavirus family, because they had coronavirus before, the years before. They call it SARS. I don't remember exactly what it means, SARS, but it's basically this respiratory disease or flu that came out the years before. And so this coronavirus, this COVID 19, came out from China, from a market or from a lab, we don't know. And then David Hickey is actually saying that this was made up by the rich families, by the rich people and powerful of the whole world. So not just China, but there is also US, and there are people probably from Japan, or I don't know. I mean, David Hickey has a very interesting theory. I'm going to show you real quick what this is about. So you can probably see my screen. This is the video I'm talking about. The title is David Hickey and the Truth Behind the Coronavirus Pandemic. So you can watch this on YouTube. I'm not sure if you can find it also on Facebook, but definitely you can search on London Real is the name of the channel and the website, made by, like I said, very estimate colleague Brian Rose. I really like what he's doing. A lot of interview with greatest leader, and you can find the link here to watch the full episode. And I really encourage you to do that, because David has a very interesting theory. I can just let you watch yourself. I just want to hear the first few seconds what David has to say about this conspiracy theory.
So what have I said in this 30 years that this cult wants? I've said it in the chats we've had before. It wants to create a beyond Orwellian global state in which a tiny few people dictate to everyone else. I've referred to this.
Did you hear that? So the conspiracy is basically that few people in the world, the richest, the most powerful, they want to control the whole world. Okay, so what do you think about that? Please let me know in the comments below if you think that is the truth, why we are living locked down in our house, are arrested in our house. We can't move, we can't do our normal life, and we don't have a job, we have lost a job, and we don't know what the future holds. And is this the truth? Do you also think that there is a conspiracy behind that, the rich and powerful people of the world, they want us to live this situation? Why I think it's very interesting to talk about this, and China, Trump called it the Chinese virus because it came from China. But then if you watch the video, you will hear David saying that no, this actually was made in the lab, and maybe Israel or US, they know something about this virus and they spread it out. And there is a whole theory, about this. So the truth, who knows? Maybe or I know, or nobody knows. The fact is, there is this virus going on probably in your town, in your city, in your house as well, and you don't know what you can do about it. And we've been talking in the previous episodes of this new series of Empower webinars, where we also going to have some people coming for interviews. I was just talking with a friend of mine and someone who came up before for an interview, Luca, and I hope he's going to come and tell us about some solutions to this problem, because we used to do this webinar for the hospitality travel industry, and Luca is very, very expert into this industry, and now it is completely shut down. It has been, wiped out from this virus, and nobody knows when this industry will come back again. I think I watched from another friend, Enzo, his Funnel TV. You can find it on LinkedIn, Enzo Aita and Funnel TV. Click Funnel TV. That in China is now picking up again, this industry. So planes are getting booked, hotels are getting booked, but it's not like they have recover 100%. I think they were more about like 50%. So I don't know what's going on in the hospitality industry. Definitely everyone is locked down in their house, so they're not going out. I was talking with my aunt, and she's wealthy, and she was talking about how, where am I gonna have my holidays? And she was like, which country is gonna be safe, and where I am sure I'm not gonna get this coronavirus again, because they are talking about, yes, the virus probably is going to pass, and we need to wait some time until we have no cases to reopen schools and factories and go back to normal. But there is the fact that the world is open, the borders are going to open again, and so maybe someone that is sick will come to your country or the country that you visit, and you might get sick again. It's this hysteria where everybody's scared and the world stopped. The world has stopped. Really? Do you really think the world has stopped? Do you really think everything is not working? I was actually reading in a comment, another family member, Sabrina, and she was saying that there are some people who never stop working, like herself. She works in a bank. It's funny to think, some people are actually very much restricted, and some others are not, completely or just partly. And anyway, very much wherever you live, if you are in quarantine, supermarkets are still open, carrier transportation, all the essential needs, hospital, as well as banks, and maybe some other companies. I don't know about your country. I'm coming from Italy, even though I live in Norway. This is the headquarters of Mondosol, close to Oslo. There is a different lockdown here in Norway. It's not total lockdown like almost in Italy, or like it was in China, in the Wuhan region, but it's quite close to. So anyway, I like to talk now about, before we close this other episode of Empower, what you can do. Whatever is the truth. If David is right, this is a conspiracy. We've been put into this situation. I just think this is more like a test for the future, how the future is going to look like. And some of you might think, Elio, you're crazy, this is not possible. We're gonna go back to normal. Everything is gonna look the same, how it was before. We were going out, drinking and events, and traveling and school, and everything is gonna be back to normal. Yes, in certain extension, yes, we're gonna go back to normal. What I'm thinking, this is the test for the future, is that probably, and I'm not gonna say it's a conspiracy, but we are experiencing what the future will look like, and you might like it or hate it. But as a matter of fact, you need to accept that e-commerce is gonna be here to stay, at least for the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years. I don't know what's gonna happen in the future. I'm not a futurist. I don't have the crystal ball, in front of me, so I cannot predict the future, but I can see the trends. And I can see from 1994, when a man from Wall Street called Jeff Bezos created Amazon and now became one of the richest, if not the richest man in the whole world, and with a simple idea that you could save time and money just getting books right from a website instead of a bookshop. And his theory was right, as much as from a book you could get toilet paper that now so many people want, or anything else that you can imagine. Yes, Amazon now, I think, is the biggest, largest supermarket, let's say, or e-commerce website there is in the whole world, together with Alibaba in China, and maybe some other website in India or other big countries. So what I'm going to say to you, the truth about the coronavirus, we will find out maybe later on. The history book will tell us, but right now our present is this one. And you might think you might have some time now to entertain yourself and your kids, and this is a good time. This is a good time for you to watch more videos and to understand what's going on. But most importantly, don't get caught into what Bruce Lipton said in another interview with Brian Rose of London Real, which is the stress process. Whenever you are under stress, whenever you get this fear, this panic attack, then your body, your mind get totally focused on that problem, on that fear, that stress, and this also weaken your body and your mind, and you get totally unfocused and paralyzed, so you don't even manage to live your normal life. And that's actually the opposite of what you should do, because he talks about the tiger, back in the days, millions of years, whatever it was, when we were chased by tiger. And the human being, like any other animal, the first thing it was going to do, it was to run as fast as possible, maybe on top of a tree or somewhere where the tiger was not going to come. So this is normal instinct. As social animal, human being, they have this instinct developed, and the stress, it's actually produced by the body to make the body react, and so to make you safe. But in this scenario where there is a flu, yes, some people are dying, older than younger, and it depends. It also affects younger people. But what I'm saying is that this is a flu attacking the immune system, our body. We are not prepared because this is a new virus. But on the other hand, we have the medias and everyone else that is pumping up this as the tiger chasing us. And then what's causing, maybe 1% to 10%, it's dying out of this. We don't have the real statistic. I think the general number is about maybe 3%. But the fact is, the remaining 97% are mentally dead, or they are in that stage where they freak out, they're paralyzed, and they don't know what else to do. So I would suggest you, instead of watching how many people died today, how many people got sick, how many people actually now are feeling better, just watch what you can do. So truth or no truth, the virus was caused by a conspiracy, or it's just happened by a human being exposing themselves with animals. We are too much in contact with our pets or our animal. In this case were camels, I heard, snakes or bats, whatever is the theory. But in the history of human life, you will see that a lot of viruses, and very deadly viruses, actually came from animals, because human being, we have always lived with animals, horses and rats and all kinds of animals. So this is like it's a normal life that we had for thousands of years, and so we have to deal with it in the past, in the present, and we will have to deal in the future. And what I suggest to you is just try to find a way out. And yesterday I was suggesting some of the industry that are gonna be reborn after this coronavirus pandemic outbreak, this COVID-19, from US with Donald Trump, and from UK with Boris Johnson, Italy, Conte, or any other prime minister going on with this crisis, with the what they call it, the task force, the experts, the virologists, the doctors, all the scientists coming up to find a cure to this problem, and giving some tips like you should wash your hands. If you are in public, you should keep the distance, you should have the mask. But whatever it is, the truth about this coronavirus, the fact is that this is a problem and this is the solution, or there are more solutions that you need to find. So, YouTube is a great source, and you can find many other information on Google. You can talk with other people if you want to, but I do suggest you to focus about the solution of the problem and not the problem itself. Thank you very much for watching, and I see you tomorrow for another episode. Bye bye.